For a brief period of time between the early and mid 90s, the Universal Monsters would actually head over to Sony. This was the work of producers who wanted to elevate the presence of horror at the studio, and they felt the best approach would be to craft prestige adaptations of classic horror novels that these monsters are based on, and the result was 4 movies that hired noted directors and featured big-name movie stars, a few of whom were Academy Award winners. I would say out of these adaptations, 1992's Bram Stoker's Dracula is the one that has the biggest following. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Gary Oldman as Dracula and Anthony Hopkins as Van Helsing, it was praised for its production quality, featuring great costume designs, stunning set pieces, and an experimental use of the old-school technique of shadow play. Oldman and Hopkins' performances were well received, but Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder have been said to be out of place here. Reeves was cast because of his heartthrob star power, and Ryder was cast by Coppola as a favored her because she was initially supposed to play Mary Corleone in The Godfather Part 3. Nonetheless, this became a big box office success and really proved to be a successful spearheading of these adaptations for Sony. Sadly, none of the other 3 films would meet the same success, but 1994's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is actually a banger and my favorite of these 4. Directed by Kenneth Branagh, who at this point was most known for his Shakespeare adaptations but had dabbled slightly into horror with 1991's Dead Again. Here he's playing Dr. Frankenstein and Robert De Niro as the monster. Helena Bonham Carter even eventually has a turn as the bride of Frankenstein. I think this film really puts a stamp on the prestige nature but elevation of horror that these adaptations were going for. And it's got great visual effects for its time, and when it comes to the makeup work on De Niro, it was fantastic, so much so it got an Oscar nomination in the category. That same year, director Mike Nichols, who had previously helmed The Graduate, would take on the Wolfman by casting Jack Nicholson in Wolf. His co-star was Michelle Pfeiffer, and this film actually experiments by bringing elements of romantic comedy to their chemistry. But at times the film is a bit uneven. But nonetheless, Nicholson was really fitting as the Wolfman, and his persona before his actual transformation really flourishes on screen. And I can't go without mentioning how great the practical effect creature work done on him was. Last of these adaptations would be Mary Riley. It's based on a 1990 novel tied to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It sees Julia Roberts play the titular character, a woman working for Dr. Jekyll who witnesses his horrific transformation. Malkovich plays Jekyll and Hyde. While this movie showed a lot of promise from its star power to its unique approach to the source material it's adapting, sadly, it just didn't turn out to be a great film at all. It was poorly received, it failed at the box office, and it pretty much put an end to Sony's run with the Universal Monsters.